There's absolutely no way. Bring those legs into tabletop. There is absolutely no way I'm doing that. And I have a little haul for you. So let's go. Your right leg can extend long. They're like really ugly but really cute. Tell me your Pilates instructor about telling me your Pilates instructor. I actually don't know what arm strength for that, you know. And I can't believe it. Come into an ab curl. Good morning everyone, happy Monday and welcome to a daily vlog. Today I thought we could spend the day together, a little day in my life as a Pilates instructor. This Monday morning I'm covering some reformer Pilates classes, so I'm here. My first class is at 7 AM, a very early start, hence why I've already drank my coffee, I have my water, I am always at least double parked. Sometimes I'm triple or quadruple parked with ginger shots and other beverages and stuff. This morning I have 4 classes. I've got a 7 AM class and then I've got 3 back-to-back after that. I have my eye patches on because I've really started to love these. I taught yesterday morning and Saturday morning as well. I've done a big stint of reformer Pilates morning classes and I like to put my eye cream on in the morning when I do my morning skincare and then place my eye patches on top for the drive to the studio, and then whilst I'm setting up, have my eye patches on and then take them off afterwards, and it is so nice. I just feel like it kind of helps wake me up because the 7 AM class is pretty early, like it is 6:35 now because I'm a chronically early person and I have to get places super early. But yeah, I'm gonna get the studio all set up, ready for my 7 AM class. I think I've got 4 or 5 people in that, and then I've got 2 that are fully booked and 1 that is nearly fully booked. So quite a nice big class. So that is my Monday morning. I'm going to get set up and everything and then teach my first class, and yeah, that is the plan. These are the little eye patches. I felt like they deserved a little close up. They just say slow down on them, and I really wish I could get ones that say like on my way to Pilates or power Pilates or something Pilates related. That'd be so cute, but there's not many reusable eye patches available, and none of them are Pilates ones unfortunately, but these are super cute. I just felt like you should see them because I realised I was really far away a second ago because it's early and I don't want to be up close and personal too early on in the morning. I'm not quite awake enough yet, but the eye patches deserve a little close-up. Make sure you're using that breath, we're not holding it. We're using those muscles and not that momentum here. I'm going to go on to that next layer in 10. 7 AM class has been taught and I've now got a gap. My next class isn't until 8:40, which is quite nice. Last week in the break I went and grabbed a coffee, and there's a coffee shop here in town that does an offer the first half an hour that they're open, so between 8 and half 8 they do half price coffee, and it's really good coffee, like it's a proper coffee shop. So I got a latte last week for like £1.85 I think it was, and I went for a little walk around town with my coffee, which was really lovely. But this morning I've decided to just stay in the studio. I've got a ginger shot that I'm going to have. I absolutely love having a ginger shot when I'm teaching, like especially because my Pilates class is kind of spicy, like they're a bit of a burner, so I quite like having a spicy ginger shot before or after a spicy class. So I'm going to have this one. This is from Press, it's their ginger immunity one, and I absolutely love this. This one has got 20 grams of ginger in, it's just ginger, apple, lemon and vitamin C, and it's a really, like as far as ginger shots go, it's a nice ginger shot. Like it burns a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's like a nice Pilates burn, you know? Like when those glutes are burning, you know it's like a good kind of burn. That is what I would describe for this ginger shot. Yeah, it is now 8:25, so I've got about 10 minutes until people are going to be arriving for my next class, and then I've got 3 classes back to back. I've got 8:40, 9:30 and 10:20. And yeah, I'm going to get them taught. And then I will probably, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got no springs on this reformer, so I'm just like moving around, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to teach these 3 classes and then I'll see you in a little bit. We can now start to bring in that right leg. So as one leg bends, the other extends, and then alternate. Feeling the difference in that right leg as it doesn't have that strap on. Bring that right leg back into tabletop. This time, send that left leg up to the ceiling and then lower it. You already know my class, I'm still jumping it. Just lift and lower this leg for me. Yeah, and then lower it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Hello, I'm just checking in. You're sitting in my bag, but you don't want to rest. Second class is taught. I'm going to teach my 3rd and 4th class back to back now, but I just thought I would update you. But yeah, that's what I've got to say, and I've got to rush. This time, as we bring that left leg up to the ceiling, the right leg can extend long. And as we lower that right leg, as we lower that left leg, bring the right leg to tabletop. That was confusing enough as it was, I've now made it worse. Lift, and then as we lower that left leg, the right leg comes into tabletop. Lift and lower, scissoring those legs. Oh, it's a bit of a bird, yeah. Understandable. Lifting and lowering those legs, little scissors. We're here for 10. Hello, it is 11:25 and I'm done with teaching. My 4 classes are taught. And whenever I finish teaching, I like to have a little play around on the reformer. Obviously, I have my reformer at home, but I just like, you know, once I've been teaching 4 classes back to back, seeing everyone else in the reformers, I then want a turn. And I normally like have things on my phone, like Pilates challenges and stuff. Like last week, there was this Pilates plank challenge that was going around, so I decided to give that a go. So I just like to have a little play around on the reformer. So that is what I'm going to do. Sometimes as well, if I need to just practice my class plan for my next class to make sure that it flows and everything, then I do that, but I don't need to do that today. So we're just going to have a little bit of a play around on the reformer instead. Today we have another plank challenge, so I'm going to see if I can do this. She's got no spring on though, which is going to be so incredibly hard. Right. Oh my god, that's hard. Oh, I actually don't have an arm strength for that, you know. I have no arm strength. How is she doing that? Okay, her reformer is a lot closer to the ground, so that jump up is not as hard, because for me, that jump up is massive. There's absolutely no way. There is absolutely no way I'm doing that. I need like a reformer closer to the ground, or at least that's my excuse. Maybe I wouldn't be able to do it on a reformer that's closer to the ground, but I definitely can't do it on this reformer. What else have we got? Right, let's try this. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this either. Not when these shoulder pads don't stay in. I don't know if this is going to work because these shoulder pads are quite movable and I need the shoulder pads to be still. No, that won't work because the shoulder pads don't want to stay in. This is a problem, like sometimes I plan a class and then I come to try it and it doesn't work on these reformers, or something works on these reformers and it doesn't work at home. Like it kind of varies depending, but that's not going to work. Okay, let's grab a box. I quite like that. I'm tall enough to touch the ceiling. I don't normally have that issue, am I?
The front leg totally still, then hold the heel high, we pulse through the front leg, keeping your fingertips just light on the foot bar. If that is it, let me know if you give it a go. Okay. Hey sexy people, here's a reverse press, which is pretty much just a single leg elephant. Then from there we take a soft bend in the knee for our curtsies, sweeping over and rainbow back up. Then we're going to hold our arabesque, we lift and lower that back leg, keeping the front leg totally still.
Right, I think I am done. I'm just gonna have this. I've got a Sweet Greens green drink to have, green juice. This is kale, spinach and cucumber in. This is gonna be my breakfast. I'm gonna drink this. I need to give the studio a little bit of a clean, just run the hoover over it. And then I'm either gonna go home or I'm gonna get some steps in before I go home. I haven't yet decided. But I'm gonna drink this. Let's give this a try. I'm kind of scared, I can't lie, because I'm not really a green juice kind of girly. Okay, that's actually so nice. I have had this in my fridge for a while and I've been terrified to try it because I thought it was gonna be disgusting, but that's actually really good. That's probably the nicest green juice I've ever had. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a drink, give the studio a little bit of a hoover, and then I shall get locked up and we shall go from there. Okay, we are now done. I'm just gonna put my shoes on, well, these are my Boohoo ones, but Birkenstock Boston clogs always. They are my go-to Pilates shoe because they're just so easy to slip on and off. And also when you're wearing grippy socks, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the grippy socks help keep the clogs on so you don't have to use your toes to scrunch them, which I love. The jumper is well and truly staying off because it has gone gorgeous. Like, it's a really lovely sunny day. And I was going to go for a walk around town, get a coffee and go for a little walk in the sunshine. But I've got a little bit of work that I need to do, and I feel like I'd rather go home, get my work over and done with, and then I can go for a walk this afternoon at home. Because I just kind of feel like I'd rather do that. Like, I feel like I'll enjoy getting steps in more, knowing that I've like done all my work, if that makes sense. But the sunglasses will definitely be going on. These are my big, it's early, although it's not early now, but you know, sometimes it is. My big sunglasses. I need to, this bag, honestly, find the key. Maybe I should take my sunglasses off so I can actually see a little bit better. Find my studio key. I have it on this nice, big, long key ring. I don't know why I've still got the tag on. This is the Lululemon Never Lost keychain. In fact, let me just take that tag off because it's really annoying. This is such a handy key because, one, I always worry that I'm going to forget the keys for the studio. So this way I can quickly look in my bag and see them. Whereas obviously if they were just like that, I find it harder. And two, it's easier, I couldn't think of my second reason then. It's easier to find it in my bag at the end of the day because this bag is so full. So I have my keys, let me grab my jumper. Oh, I actually also need to find my car keys. My bag is so full today. I literally have so many random things here. Like, I have my little pouch with mints and stuff in. I've got my eye patches. I've got my headphones in case I wanted to go for a walk afterwards. I've also got my little reusable coffee cup. This is for if I get a coffee after as well. It's so cute. This is the cup that my brother got me for my birthday. It's absolutely adorable. It's obviously doing a form of Pilates, but I don't need that, so I'm not gonna go for my coffee. I have a Gray's Cocoa Vanilla Bar in case I want a snack. But I have got, oh, here we go. I was going to say I have got my car keys in here somewhere. I've also got Way matte pomade in here, my phone charger. I have literally got so much in here. And finally, I have found my keys. My car key and my house key, which also, this is, tell me you're a Pilates instructor about telling me you're a Pilates instructor. Everything apparently is Lululemon. I have this really cute little belt bag key ring on my house key, which I just think is so cute. This was meant to, I bought this to go on my belt bag, but I've never put it on my Lululemon belt bag. It's just been on my keys instead. So I have my 3 sets of keys. I need my jumper, and then I need my phone, my coffee from this morning, my water. I normally go through a whole one of these. So basic being a Stanley girl, but I need a Stanley of water, especially when I'm teaching 4 classes. I end up getting through so much. Sunglasses can go on. Let's lock up the studio and we can head home. It is now 12:02, so the entire Monday morning has been spent teaching and being in the studio, but that is what I absolutely love. And now we can go home and have a nice little chilled afternoon before we're back teaching this evening. So let's go. I am home and it is time for a haul. First up, Lululemon. Last week I went into Lululemon and I bought myself this tracksuit that I had my eye on back in end of January, I think, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. And I decided, because I'm doing, like, I've done so much like overtime, like I've taken a lot of cover recently, I was able to kind of think like, okay, if I teach on that morning, then I can then get that tracksuit. And that is exactly what I've done. This is one of my most expensive purchases ever, but it's super versatile. So I feel like I'm gonna wear it a lot of ways, and I have wanted this for a while, like I said. So first up, we have the jacket. It's this like nylon kind of material. It's a black cropped kind of bomber jacket. I feel like that is kind of in the way. It's just this black jacket. It's got white piping on it. It has the Lulu logo there, zips down the middle. It's got pockets, and then on one sleeve it says Lululemon down it, and it's like cropped and baggy. And I'm thinking I can wear this with the tracksuit, but I could also wear this with like little cycling shorts and stuff, like wear this with leggings, that kind of thing. And then I got the matching joggers to go with it. These are not my normal kind of thing. I'm not normally a tracksuit kind of girl, and I'm not normally like a shell suit nylon kind of girl, but there was something about these I absolutely loved. So these are the joggers. They're a wide leg jogger. They've got the white piping to match the jacket. They've got the Lulu logo there, and then they say Lululemon down one leg. And I didn't realise until I tried them on, but I love that it's kind of like opposite. So on the sleeve it says Lululemon down one arm, and then the opposite leg of the trousers has Lululemon down that side, which I just think looks really nice. Like I like that kind of opposite kind of thing. And then they're just a wide leg, and they have poppers on them, so you can undo the poppers as well. And I was thinking these are good to like chuck over a pair of shorts to wear to Pilates if I don't want to be walking around in little shorts and stuff. Also I can obviously wear it together, and then I can wear this with a cute little sports bra. Basically that's how I girl math justified it, because I decided I can wear it a lot of ways. And as an instructor I also get Lululemon discount, which is another reason why I could slightly justify it, because this is workwear technically. Like I'm going to be wearing this to teach and stuff, so I needed some work stuff, you know, like I needed a uniform, and this is going to be my uniform for the foreseeable future, because I'm going to be living in this to get my wear out of this and get my money's worth. And then I did also buy this. This is the High Pile Cotton Terry Sweatband. It's just a little sweatband, headband, toweling material thing. They had this in white as well, which I very nearly got because I felt like it was a little bit more versatile, but then I figured that that would get really, really grubby. So I went with the navy one, and I'm going to see how I get on with this, and then I might also get the white one as well. But I'm thinking this is going to be perfect for teaching hot Pilates, which I'm starting next week, which I'm really excited about, on Wednesday evenings. And it's going to be hot, and I'm teaching 2 classes back to back. So I'm going to be in that hot room for a long time, doing the class to kind of show and also instructing. Like it's going to be very hot and sweaty. So I thought this would be perfect to, like, as gross as it sounds, absorb the sweat off my forehead and like keep my hair out my face and stuff. So I got that from Lululemon, and that is my little Lululemon haul. And then I also got sent these. These I think I'm gonna have as like my Pilates studio shoes, because at the moment I'm wearing my like Birkenstock Bostons when I'm walking around the studio, but then obviously it's making my cleaning job at the end harder because I'm wearing shoes, if that makes sense. So I was thinking of having like a pair of shoes, almost like slippers for around the house, have a pair of shoes that I only wear inside the studio, just to try and keep it a little bit cleaner. And I got sent some Crocs, and I feel like these could potentially be the shoes for that. So we have 2 different ones. We have these chocolate brown espresso ones, which are absolutely gorgeous, and they will probably be my go-to ones. These I just think are perfect for like instructing and stuff, because you can just slip your feet in and out of them, because sometimes they need to like jump on a reformer to do a demo or something. So that way it's just nice and easy that I can slip them on and off. And then we have these ones, which I actually forgot I was getting. I'm not sure these will be getting worn to Pilates. Maybe these will be like a slipper for around the house, because they're fluffy little Crocs, which are slightly hideous, but also part of me loves them and I can't really decide. They're like really ugly but really cute, and they're like fur lined on the inside, and they've got like a slipper base to them rather than a shoe. So these are definitely meant for indoor use. I just don't think I could take myself seriously if I wore these when I was instructing a class, because I'm gonna look like Bigfoot. But they are kind of cute. Like they're hideous at the same time. Like some people are absolutely gonna hate these. I look at them one minute, I think I hate them, and I look at them another minute and I think they're kind of cute. And that is my new little Pilates uniform type things. I've got my tracksuit, I've got my shoes to wear around the studio, got my headband ready for when I'm hot Pilates instructing, and that is my little haul. I'm teaching again tonight. It is 12:36, but I'm not teaching until 6 p.m. tonight, and then I've got another class at 7:45 at 2 different studios. So I teach from 6 to 6:50, and then drive to the other studio, teach from 7:45 to 8:45. But I've got a bit of time before I need to be teaching. I do actually need to run through my class plan for this evening actually. I normally write my class plan the week before, and then on the day that I'm teaching, or if I'm teaching an early morning class the night before, I will just run through the class plan just to like remind myself of it and make it fresh in my brain. So I'm going to quickly go and run through my class plan for tonight so that I know what I'm doing with that. I'm teaching the same class in both studios, which makes it kind of easier. So I'm just going to quickly run through my class plan, and then I can have a little bit of time to just be, which will be quite nice. For once we are on the mat in here rather than the reformer, but I need to run through my mat class plan for this evening, and this evening's class is going to be focused on the ball. I like to try and have a theme for my classes. This morning's theme was this, the loops, like the straps. I used these throughout the entire class, and then today for my mat the theme is the ball. I just find it makes the class flow better rather than constantly changing. Like at the weekend when I was teaching reformer, I had the long box on for the entire class because I don't love changing things loads and having loads of props and changing springs loads when it's reformer and stuff, because I feel like it slows down the pace. And I like to keep the pace in the class because it helps to keep that burn and that spice and stuff. And also it makes the most of the 45, 50 minutes or an hour, depending on where I'm teaching, depends on my class length. But I just feel like it flows better and it's not overcomplicating people with too many different things. So the ball is the focus. I made this class plan last week, like I said. I used my iPad to write my class plans on. So I'm just going to quickly run through it just to, like I said, refresh my memory as to what I've actually planned for this class, and just also make sure that I can make sense of last week me, if that makes any sense. So lunge up, ball's going to come between those knees for that squat, arms added, squat, squeeze, stand. I also like to talk through the class plan as I'm going through it, as though I'm teaching a class, just to make sure that what I'm doing is also matching what I'm saying, and it also just makes me kind of, it means I can practice what I'm saying, make sure that what I'm saying makes sense. And I then find it makes it easier for the class when I'm actually teaching it. We're gonna have those elbows out wide, just squeeze on that ball to start with. Drive that heel up for that donkey kick. Bring those legs into tabletop. Toe tap the mat, back up again. Really engaging that core, keeping it nice and tight as we tap that mat. Come into an ab curl, roll down over that ball, curl yourself back up again. Drawing that chest to those thighs. Come into a bridging series, all between the knee, drive those hips up, squeeze those glutes, roll it back down again. Come up into that glute bridge, have a squeeze of that ball, roll it back down, glute bridge, just squeeze that ball, just pulse those hips, remove that ball, place it between, beneath. This is a thing I do, I always end up saying the wrong thing. I say hips instead of heels and beneath instead of between, like I just did. It's just like silly little things like that, and it's just the way my brain is. Have that ball beneath that heel, toes on the mat, so you're wearing a pair of heels, drive it up. Or do we have the ball fully beneath that foot to challenge that stabilisation? I was going to say stability even more. I guess it depends. This class I'm also teaching tomorrow morning, so okay, we'll have beneath the foot for tomorrow, heel down, toes on the mat for tonight, I think. Tomorrow morning at 7:20 I'm also teaching mat Pilates. So this class I will teach tonight and also tomorrow morning because those three classes are all in different studios. So I just repeat the same class plan. Depending on the studio, depends on what layers and levels I add, and depending on who's in the class in terms of their ability and stuff. But I have like a base class plan each week, and then I tweak it per studio and per person, if that makes any sense. And then we can come into a prone if we need for backup. And then we've got arm series. Where did the arm series go? Butterfly those elbows in and out. Now take those hands to a rugby post, draw it down, past that ball. Proud through that chest. Okay, that is that done. That is all absolutely fine. That works, that flows, I'm happy with that. I quite like that class actually, I'm quite looking forward to teaching it. Normally, I don't really teach a class if I don't like it. I always plan a class that I would enjoy as a client, and I don't ever want to teach a class that I don't personally love, because if I'm not enjoying the class teaching it, then what's the point? But this one I feel like I particularly love. Like I feel like this could definitely be a potential favourite of mine. In fact, I feel like it's quite a fun class plan, and the addition of the ball just spices it up a little bit, so I'm pretty happy with that. It is lunchtime, and for my lunch day I'm having this. This is my favourite thing at the moment. It's the Rana spicy sausage and mozzarella pasta. It is so good. I'm not normally a fan of like this ravioli, tortellini kind of thing. Like I'm not really that into it, but this one is so good. Like the sausage in it is delicious, and it's so quick and easy. So I'm just gonna cook half of this pack to have for my lunch, and then I think I'm gonna go for a walk and get some steps in. This is the finished lunch. This has just got a little bit of olive oil on, some parmesan and some pepper. That is literally it. So basic and boring, but that is my lunch. Good afternoon. It is 3:57. I have got back from a long walk. I didn't realise that this morning I did 10,000 steps just in the studio. In that one singular room. I didn't know that that was possible before I did it, to be honest. Especially considering that the reformer studio is quite small. There's not a lot of room to walk around. There's a little kind of strip at the back of the beds that you can walk up and down. And then occasionally I'll walk in between the beds just to check on people's form and stuff. But somehow, in that tiny little room, I managed to do 10,000 steps this morning. And I honestly don't know how. Literally, I drove to the studio this morning, parked up at the studio, walked a tiny bit from my car to the front door, taught all my classes, locked up the studio, walked back to my car, drove home, and then I went to check how many steps I'd done, and that's when I saw I'd done 10,000, which is honestly crazy. And now that I've done my walk as well, I am currently on 14,848 steps, and I still have 2 classes to teach this evening, so honestly God knows how many steps I'm going to have done by the end of today. But anyway, it is 4 o'clock, like I said. I'm teaching at 6, so I've got a couple of hours. I've just chucked on this new Lululemon top, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's like the most me top, because it's like boxy and baggy, and I love it. So I've just popped this on over the top because it's obviously going to be a little bit chillier this evening. And then I'll have some dinner before I go, and that is kind of this evening. And then tomorrow I'm teaching at 7:20 in the morning, which is another early start. So whenever I've got an early start in the morning, I always pack my bag the night before, because then it just saves me time in the morning. I can just wake up in the morning, get dressed, my outfit is already like decided the night before, and then I can just go out the door, and it just saves so much time and thinking as well. So I've got a couple of bits in here already. I've got my headphones, because after my class tomorrow, I'll finish at 8:10. In fact, actually that means I can go and get the half-price coffee tomorrow morning, which I definitely will do. So I'll go for a walk after my class. I've got my headphones for that, and I've also still got in here my reusable cup, so I'll just leave that in there for my coffee. I've also still got my Way Matte pomade, and I always have deodorant in my Pilates bag just in case for touch-ups and stuff. I've got my keys, but I don't need a key for this studio because there's like a lockbox situation, but I always leave my keys in there just so that I don't forget them. And then my usual little Pilates pouch from Stacks. And oh, I've also added these in. I've got these Super Bites Pistachio Crisp Energy Ball things. These were in the middle aisle the other day, and I thought they looked quite nice, so I thought I'd get them. So I'm adding them in tomorrow for my snack, and then I'll bring this water bottle. If I'm teaching one class, I'll bring this one because I prefer it because the straw folds down, so it just doesn't spill, and it's easier to just pop in my bag. But if I've got back-to-back classes, I need more water, so I bring my big Stanley. So that can go in there, and then I'll top that up in the studio. And I think that's it. I need my iPad and my Apple Watch, but I still need them this evening, so I can't put them in there. But I think that's pretty much it. And then this evening, I don't normally bother bringing a bag in the evening. I don't know why, but I normally bring a bag in the morning, and then in the evening, just carry my iPad, my water, watches on my wrist, and then I can teach. So that is that. I'm gonna have some dinner. It's literally just gone 4 o'clock. It is 4:01. So yeah, I'm gonna have some dinner. I normally have it about 5, and then I've got enough time for it to go down. And then I can teach at 6, and then teach at 7:45, and then I normally get home about 9:15 on a Monday night, so it is quite late, hence part of the reason why I packed my bag the night before, because I want to try and get as much sleep tonight as I physically can before waking up again tomorrow morning at about 6:15, maybe 6:30ish, kind of, I don't know, I'll work that out later. But yes, that is where we're at. I am ready for this evening in my outfit, and I'm now just going to go and sit and watch some Netflix for a bit, I think. I'm currently watching the Gordon Ramsay documentary on Netflix. I think I'm going to go and watch an episode of that, because obviously I'm not really going to have an evening this evening, because I'm leaving at 5:30 and I won't get back till 9:15. And when I get in, I literally shower, skincare, bed. So because I don't really get an evening as much on a Monday night because I'm out, I normally try and have a bit of a chilled late afternoon in like alternative. So that is what I'm going to go and do for a bit, and then I will see you in about an hour or so, ready for my evening classes. Good evening. It is 5:30, bang on, and I am just about to head to my first studio of the evening to teach my 6 p.m. class. And then, I think I said this earlier, I think I've probably said this about 3 times today, I then have a class at 7:30, and my classes are only like 10-15 minutes apart from each other, which is quite nice, so it's not too far to have to travel between the two, which is very nice. When I teach in the evenings, I bring my evening sweet treat with me, because I don't really have time for it beforehand or after. I kind of want want it. The time I want my sweet treat is realistically when I'm out. So I bring my sweet treat with me, and then I either eat it between the 2 classes when I'm driving between studios, or I eat it after my last class on my way home. And this evening's sweet treat is some Forest Feast pistachio crisp milk chocolate dates, which I have dropped. These I absolutely love. And last week at my Pilates class, my 6 p.m. class, I was speaking to one of my clients about these and how much we love them. And now it's made me really fancy one after teaching today. So I've brought those with me so I can have them. There's only one in there, but they're quite big. So, and yeah, I'm just gonna drive to the studio. The sun is setting. I can't believe it's still light. Like, it's 5:30 and it's still light, and it honestly makes me so happy. And it makes leaving the house to go and teach so much easier. Like, when it's light, I feel like it's so much easier to go out, whereas when it's like pitch black, it feels like a lot of an effort to like bring myself out of the house. And it's still light right now, and I can't believe it. The sun is setting though. I literally drove to Pilates this morning whilst the sun was rising, and I'm now driving to Pilates this evening whilst the sun is setting. But this morning there was the most beautiful sunrise, and I don't normally see the sunrise because I'm not normally awake for it, but there was a gorgeous sunrise this morning. And again, like this morning when I woke up it was dark, but it got light not long after I was dark, and then when I left the house it was light because the sun was rising. And I just find it makes it so much easier to like wake up in the mornings like early, leave the house, and also leave the house in the evenings. I find it so much easier to do that when it's light. So the fact that we're on this side of winter and it is light at this time in the evening makes me so happy, because I feel like it just makes my job easier. It also makes content creating easier because you've got more like time in the day, like daylight hours to get content done. Honestly, it is just so amazing, and I'm so pleased that we're getting longer days. It makes me so happy. But anyway, on that note, I need to head to the studio so that I'm not late. And yes, I shall go and teach my 2 mat classes. If I have time, I will see you in between. Sometimes I usually end up chatting to my 6 p.m. class quite a lot after the class, and then it's a case of literally getting in the car, driving to the next studio so that I'm there for literally, I normally arrive bang on 7:30, and I normally like to arrive to studios like 15 minutes before I start teaching. So it normally works pretty perfectly timing wise, but I don't know if I'll have time to speak to you between the 2, but we shall see. But anyway, I'm going to head off now, teach these 2 classes, and yeah, I will see you in a little bit. It is 7:28, don't know if you saw that, and I've arrived at my second studio ready to teach my 7:45 class. First evening class is done. It went very, very well. Really loved the class. Everyone really enjoyed it as well, and I just really enjoyed teaching it. I feel like it was all around good today, and I'm now going to go and teach the exact same class. You can't see it, but it's a gorgeous converted barn in the countryside. It's got gorgeous views, but you obviously can't see them now because it's dark. But I'm going to go in here and get on with teaching my second class of the evening. I am now home. All my Pilates classes for the day are taught, and if anybody was wondering, final step count for the day is 17,125 steps, which potentially is one of the most steps I've ever done in a day. I feel like that is quite a lot. But anyway, that is it for my day. Thank you so much for spending it with me. It is now 9:43. I'm in bed, doing my red light therapy, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Ready for an early start tomorrow morning for, I was going to say another morning of teaching, but I've only got 1 class in the morning. But yeah, ready for another early start to teach Pilates. So I'm going to end this video here, but thank you so much for spending the day with me. I really hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point soon with another one. Bye!